Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome to the session number 9 of the series Beginners to Expert of C Language. In this session, we are going to talk about iteration construct, which is also called loops. We will be defining iteration construct at first. Then we'll go to understand pre and post check loops. There are two broader categories of loops exist in C language, that is pre and post check. What all actual loops that exist in C language for while and do while. And finally, I will take you to the practical assignments based on loops. So let's go. Defining the iteration construct, it's a fundamental concept in programming that involves repeating a specific set of instruction multiple times. So there's a simple example. You have been asked to write your names or print your names, let's say, 2 times. So it's easier for you to print your names 2 times. You will write printf first for your name and printf your name. So you will write printf 2 times, which will print your name 2 times on the standard output device. At the same time, let's say you have been asked to print your name, say 100 times. So you have to write, if you're going and following the same pattern and the same way to print your name, so you have to write 100 times printf. So printf, 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 and so on. So this will become a tedious task to you. So what will happen? Here comes the concept of loop. Loop does what? It helps you repeat a set of a statement as many times as you wish. So you can simply say that, hey, do this activity, let's say this many times. All right. And that is what called as loop. So same example, let's say I am to print code with Abby, code with Abby, code with Abby, code with Abby 5 times. So I can write 5 times printf here. And the same thing that I can use with the help of loop. So in loop, what I'm telling, hey, start with 1, go until 5, and then increase 1 by 1. So I have specified the steps here. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do this as many times as the condition that I have specified. We'll be talking about these things in detail in next couple of minutes. So I think you are now pretty much clear on the fact that loops are used for repeating a statement or a set of statement as many times as we wish to repeat. So broadly, there are 3 types of loops that exist in C language, 3 loops for while and do while. So if you see, the loops are broadly classified into 2 sections. Number 1 is pre-checked and number 2 is post-checked. The pre-checked kind of loop is the loop in which the condition is checked first and then the activity is performed. But in post-checked kind of loop, what happens? The condition is checked afterwards. At least one time the body of the loop executes. Hope this is clear. If not, I'm going to cover and show you in the example. So you see that in pre-checked loop, there are 2 loops, for loop and while loop. And in post-check category, there is 1 loop called do while loop. For loop can be written this way. So this is initialization. You are saying I is a variable of integer type. You are saying that start with 1. So this is initialization. This is condition. You are saying that start with 1, start from 1, go until 10. So keep on going. And when it becomes 10, then don't do much. I mean, you have to repeat the same thing up to 10. And I++, this is called increment or decrement. Either you have to increment or you have to decrement, right? So there are 3 sections of for loop. And whatever that you write in these opening and closing curly braces, everything will be executed as many times as you mentioned here. So this is how we write for loop. Going for while loop. While loop is also pretty much equal to, very much similar to for loop. So here it is initialization. You say I is 1 and then you are saying I goes until 10 and then you are repeating your statements. And then finally at the end of this loop, just before closing the curly braces, you are incrementing or decrementing the value. So this is the way you can write your while loop. Quickly go to see do while loop. In do while loop, what happens? You are initializing the value here, but then you are doing the activities and increasing or decreasing the value, but the condition is checked afterwards. Okay. So you see, this is initialization. This is condition at the end. And here is the increment and decrement. So these are 3 loops that exist in C language. All the programs that are of repetitive nature, you can actually do using these loops. Hope this is all clear. So before we go and understand the assignment based on loops, let me take you to the GDB online editor to explain the concept of pre and post check categories of loops. So I'm going to GDB Online Debugger. This is an online interface or utility where you can write your programs. I have already written the program for your convenience so that it will not take time. So I am just going to open the pre-checked one. So this is a pre-checked loop, right? So you see that I is you see here I is declared, and then I is 1, and then you are saying I should be less than 10 and I plus plus, and then you are printing the value, your name, suppose, right? So if you are running this, you run this, and then you see that code with Abby it gets displayed 10 times, right? So why it is called pre-check? Because the condition is checked first. Let's say I am making this value of I is 16. So 16 is greater than 10, then this loop will not even execute even once. You see there is nothing printed, right? Because the value you have already initialized with 16, and then you are telling this loop that, hey, loop, run until 10, but the value of I is 16 only. So why should it run until 10, right? So there it is actually not even executing even once, right? I'm going to remove now the do while loop right away. So here is an example of a do while loop, which is also called post check loops. Why it is called post check loop? Because the loop in this loop, the condition is checked post afterwards. So what happens here? The way it is written is I equals 1, that is fine. And then you are printing the value, your name, code with Abby, and then you are incrementing this value. And then you are saying that, hey, I should be until 10. So if I am running this program, then you see that this gets printing 10 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? But what happens? Let's say I'm making this as a 16 as I did in for loop, and then I'm running it. What do you think it should do? So you see that this prints the value at least once. And why it is printing? Because even if you made I is 16, here you are doing the stuff first, then you are incrementing, and then you are checking. So you are checking at the end, right? So this is why this is what is the property of do while loop is the condition. Even if condition doesn't satisfy, the loop body execute at least once. Hope the difference between post and pre-check loop are now pretty much clear to you. As we have got to know the loops concept, let me take you to the assignment, and where we'll see all the examples of the assignment. There are many questions which have been written and which you can use for your practice purpose. These are taken from real-time world and real-time life and from practical examples. So let's go. We have a blog site called codewithabby.blogspot.com, and it's getting opened. You come here in assignment C and open assignment number 4. The moment you open assignment number 4, here are the assignments. Okay. So I will try to walk you through the questions one by one. Write a program to print your name 10 times. We have already shown this and you have seen in examples. Write a program to print the value from 1 to 10. And write a program to print the value from 20 to 60. Write a program to print the value from 80 to 60. Int 1 to 20, all even numbers. Input last limit and print all the numbers between 1 to that limit. And input first and last limit. So let's say you are asking from the user that first limit, let's say user enters 5, last limit, let's user enters 10. So you have to print the values from 5 to 10. Write a program to find the sum of all numbers between 1 to 10. Write a program to find sum of only even values between 1 to 10. So these are examples. There are 13 questions in this assignment, and then these all examples can be done using loops in C. Hope you will try these questions, and if you see any issues with any of the questions, do write in the comments or to the email that is supplied to you. We will answer these. I will also try to pick many of these questions and try to do in next video. So hope the concepts that we have discussed related to loops are pretty much clear to you now. You are now aware of the fact what loops are, what kind of loops exist in C, and how to write. You have also understood the difference between pre and post check loops. And since we have shown one or two examples in C, you should start doing the practical assignments that we have seen. See you in next video. Bye bye.